Hi, I'm Anna Cherney. I'm 22 years old and I have epilepsy. I have primary generalized epilepsy and it affects all of my brain. No, nobody in my entire family has epilepsy. I'm the only person on both sides. So that I know of, I've had about 14 in my entire life. I don't get them as often as I used to when I was little. So my parents didn't know I even had epilepsy because no one in my family's had it before. So when they took me to the doctor and they told my parents that's what I had, it explained a lot of the times when I was a baby why I would like drool and not wake up or make any type of indication that I was like aware because I was unconscious from the seizure. I started to get them more when I was in elementary school, and that period of time was when they put me on my first medication, which stopped it for a while. But then I started to have a breakthrough in high school where I had them again, and I had about 4 in 1 year, and that was uncommon because before then I would go a few years and then maybe have one, and then besides that I really didn't have it once they knew I had it and put me on a medication to help me. Stress and sleep deprivation are the two things that have always caused me to have seizures. Other than that, heavy doses of marijuana cause me to have it, which is kind of interesting because other people use medical marijuana to control their seizures, but in my case it had the exact opposite effects. It caused me to have them. And alcohol is a big trigger too. They say, well, my doctor told me before that in my case, I'm 10 times more likely to have a seizure if I have some alcohol. I try to get enough sleep, or as much as I can, as often as I can, because that is very important. And stress-wise, school can really stress me out because it gets pretty hard, so I try to not procrastinate too much because last-minute assignments are very stressful and worrisome, so I just take a breather as much as I can and try and relax, because if I get too tense and too worried, I can have one easily. So I just try and get good sleep, not stress as much, drink water, eat a healthy diet. A healthy diet's really important actually for people with seizures too. By taking all of my medication, if I do not take it, I will have a seizure. Some people are able to grow out of their seizures, but I will have to be on medicine for the rest of my life. So this is the way I manage them most. My side effects are memory loss, dizziness, fatigue, an out-of-body experience basically where I'm there but I'm not. I feel very uncomfortable when this happens, and I just kind of sit there and I seem like I'm zoning out, but I'm just like not really aware of what's happening. And another one is tremors. I have really bad shaky hands, which is one of the medications I'm on. It helps for that, and that's why I like to hold my hands and not just like hold them in the air because they tend to shake a lot. Whole life I never knew when I was going to have a seizure. It would just happen up until about a year ago when I had a breakthrough seizure. I felt like I ran into a brick wall and I had an immediate migraine out of nowhere, completely out of nowhere. It was just like my head was hurting so bad, and then I went unconscious. And that's how all my seizures are. I go unconscious and I shake rapidly, and they usually last for about 5 minutes, and I foam at the mouth and my eyes will roll backwards, and my lips get a little blue, which is kind of scary for other people to see, but that's what happens before and during. And then after, when I'm coming out of it, I am very groggy and very sleepy, and if someone didn't try and wake me up, I would sleep for about 15 hours. I would be fine sleeping for that long, and then I'd wake up and I still have migraines for a while afterwards. So to school, epilepsy affects me in the way to where I'll get migraines extremely bad, to where I can't have a light on in the room. I can't be outside at all because my eyes cannot handle any type of light. I have to be in a pitch black room and no noise, no sound, as fast as I can, and I just can't be around people or else it's excruciating pain and it's very difficult to handle. So that affects me with not being able to go to my classes sometimes. When it comes to jobs, at my daycare center with the children, if I feel that I'm starting to have an out-of-body experience or getting like shaky and having a headache, I immediately put a child down just to take the precaution so I won't drop them or hurt them, because I would never be able to live with myself if I did that, harmed a child. So that I just have to be cautious, and for their sake especially. And for my relationships with people, I guess I could say more towards an intimate relationship. It's kind of difficult because I can't have children from some of the medication I was on in the past, and my doctor recently told me because of a medication and because of my disorder I shouldn't have kids, and she advised me not to. So that's been a little hard to deal with, thinking about not being able to be a mom, but it's for the safety of myself and the child, and that makes total sense to me. So I go to the gym and do endurance workouts because my bones are weaker because of this and the medications I'm on, so I try to stay healthy and fit enough to take care of myself. When it comes to activities that I avoid, I don't swim because it's never guaranteed that I will or won't have one while I'm in the water, or else I'd have to be wearing a life vest every time I'm in the water, and I do not want to be wearing that, so I don't swim. I don't ride escalators if I don't have to. I don't cook over the stove for the fact that maybe I have one and then the house catches on fire because I'm not paying attention, like because I'm unconscious, or because I knock it over and it gets all over me. I don't drink, I don't party, I don't smoke, I don't stay up late. I don't surround myself with people who smoke weed because it will influence me now more. I've become more sensitive to it, so I try not to put myself around that. I avoid staying up late, kind of a party pooper. Okay, so if it's a first-time seizure, definitely call 911. You always need to lay the person on their side, put something under their head, and never put anything inside of a person's mouth if they're having a seizure. It's extremely dangerous, especially like because some people have tried to put like a finger in their mouth to see if there's anything in there, or to try and keep it open, and the jaw locks shut like that, and your finger can be bitten off, as crazy as it sounds, easily like that, because the person's unconscious and doesn't really know what they're doing. For me, however, my family and my roommate knows that I have the condition, so they don't call 911 because they already know what to do in a sense, but we rather just wait until it's over, always time the seizure, and then we plan on me going and seeing my doctor as soon as I can afterwards. The only reason my family or roommates would call 911 is if I had a serious injury.